This is all about reality and how it's the coolest and craziest thing, um, that it is what it is. The fact that this is like our reality and this is like what we live in, and that we can have kind of set rules that we've defined and stuff, and they work consistently. That kind of stuff um, is crazy. It it's honestly mind boggling to think about, because you may think, well, that doesn't make any sense. Obviously, it works. Obviously, things just are what they are. But the fact that things just are what they are and things are uniform is crazy, because there are so many things that it could be other than uniform. Everything could be entirely random. Everything could be chaos. I could be talking to you one second and then be upside down the next. And that could just be the norm. To just anything could happen at any moment. That could be the norm, and it isn't. And I think that that is just incredible, but also crazy. To think that the world is what it is, and it's kind of like a question, like, well, why is it this? Why is this what reality is? Why does reality work this way? And like just kind of thinking about like all the possibilities, with the whole multiverse thing, like all the possibilities of what can be reality. It's infinite. Anything can happen at any moment, in any way, and it's just insane to think about. But none of it does. Um, and I don't know. I just think that it's crazy that there's so much possibility, and yet this is what we're here with. And I guess another question is, we think it's uniform, but is it actually uniform? Is it just uniform in this location? Does it vary across the universe? We have no like certain way of saying whether or not. And I don't know. I guess another question is, like, do we make it uniform? Do we decide as a people, as a consciousness, that this is how the world is? Do we make that decision on some level? And I don't know. I mean, maybe that's a crazy question to ask. Doesn't really make any sense, but I don't know. I just think that it's kind of, I'm just dumbfounded by reality, and the rules of reality that we live by, and the fact that things are predictable. In most cases, there are predictable ways that things take place, um, and in some cases, things that seem like chaos are actually entirely ordered. And um, I just think that's incredible. You can think that, like in a structure, like in a building or a bridge, or like in a beam or whatever, um, when it breaks, that's entirely random. You would think that it would be entirely random, but you look into it. I mean, I I have taken classes that have kind of discussed this, and I couldn't really tell you the math involved, but I can tell you that given given the right information, you could predict with almost 100% certainty when and how and where it's going to fail. Um, and it's just incredible how you could take something that is seemingly random and calculate it, and it's fixed. When it could easily be uncalculable. It could be entirely random, just complete chaos. And I don't know. I just think that it's kind of crazy that we live in a world that it isn't chaos. But I guess a thought that I just had right now is, it kind of needs to be uniform for life to work. I guess if it was chaos, things just wouldn't really function right. We wouldn't, animals and all that stuff probably wouldn't be able to live in a completely chaotic universe, because if you can't predict what's going to happen next, you probably won't survive very long. uh, But I guess that's kind of crazy to think about, you know. In the whole grasp of the universe, if the universe is infinite, or like either in time, or it's infinite in space, or it's both, you know, there's every possible possibility happening at any time, at every time, everywhere. If the if the universe is infinite in space and time, every single possibility is happening everywhere at every single moment. Because, and like, that doesn't seem like it makes sense or should be possible, but right now there is a me saying this exact same thing somewhere else, like the exact same me saying the exact same thing at the exact same time somewhere else in the universe, if the universe is infinite in time and infinite in space. And not only just one other me saying this exact same thing, like the exact same me saying the exact same thing at the exact same time, but an infinite amount of me saying the exact same thing at the exact same time. And then there's another infinite amount that are wearing just a blue hoodie instead, and a green hoodie, and an orange hoodie, and no hoodie. You know, like, there's just infinite me's doing infinite, like an infinite amount of me's doing the same exact thing an infinite amount of ways. And then there's an infinite amount of me's doing something slightly different in an infinite amount of ways. And it's just like, that's a mind-boggling thing. That could be me. But this is me. This is us. This is our reality, you know? And the fact that there's just so much variation and possibility in the world, and yet, or in the universe, or potential variation in the universe, and yet this is what we are in. This is what we're dealing with. I think it's crazy. I think it's awesome. But yeah. Yeah. Peace out. Hey, wow. That was great. So great. No need to overhype it.
It was alright.
Fair enough.
Why don't we go this way, guys?
What's over there? Probably another video.
Let's go then.
I'm in.